The next show we're going to be talking about is Princess Principal.
This is the other one you had.
Yes, and it's another one on Anime Strike, so go ahead. Yeah, it costs too much to watch this, but I recommend this show because it's really good.
I was interested in this one when you talked about it before and looked at the synopsis for it and everything. I'm like, this actually sounds really interesting.
Yeah, so basically this is a show about spies, basically girls who are spies. It's a lot more international than I thought. Basically each person was, let's say, the girl on the top right comes from Japan. The girl on the top left, it's from one European country, and then each of the other girls, they come from like another European country. And it's really cool how the story plays out, because basically it's telling in kind of reverse like how everybody met, and so it kind of does like a step forward and a step back, and like kind of jumps back and forth between time, but it does it in such a way that there's still this overarching plot that's playing out throughout the entire show. And I think what they did is basically the person who's taking the most, the person who they're focusing on the most in the next mission, they kind of go back in time to how she ended up joining the group. Yeah, well, how she ended up joining the group. Because all 5 girls are all part of the same spy group, and they're from all different places, but you don't know like how these 5 different girls from 5 different backgrounds all came to be. So like the first episode just shows all of them working together, and then each episode after that kind of breaks down how the story is moving forward, and then how this person actually came to join the group. And it's really, really cool.
Now, did you ever watch Gunslinger Girl?
I saw the first season, but not the whole thing.
Okay. How well would you equate the two of these?
I would say that...
I mean, we got something similar going on here? Because it kind of seems like it's almost similar.
I would say it's something similar, but it's, I think, in Gunslinger Girls, did they have a choice? I think they were kind of just made, right?
Well, it was because the girls who were picked were the ones who basically they had something wrong with them, and they had to have surgery and stuff done to be able to save them for whatever reason. And through this surgery and through this everything, you know, obviously very costly. So then the way to pay it back was to do the service that they were doing. At least that's what I remember it as.
Okay. Well, in this one, I don't know how much of a choice. Like, they didn't explain the recruitment class, but they did show how they came to get their skills. And 3 of these characters were like at the top of their class, and the gap between them and everybody else that was in the class is so huge that before you find that out, you would think that they were like built to be spies. But it's just if they weren't like forced into doing this, they wanted to be spies just like to get away from their how they were growing up. Like the oldest girl in the picture, the second from the bottom, she grew up with an abusive household, and she just wanted to get away from everything. So she joined the spy camp, and she ended up being really, really good at it. So now she's basically in this group of elite spies.
Gotcha.
There's a pretty interesting side characters in this show. There were some that I wish we kind of stayed around with, because I'm like, I like these characters, and they're like, okay, that's their episode, bye. And I'm like, no, they were cool. But then you'd go into the next episode and find some more characters. You're like, y'all are cool too. So it's there aren't any really bad characters except for like the leaders of the group, like the boss, the head, like the upper echelon of the military and like spy groups and stuff like that. So hello.
Decided to say hi. Anyway,
you end up like getting more and more attached to the characters as they go along, because they kind of sprinkle backstory like in like the best way. So it's really cool, like all of the characters. And there are some parts where I get like upset because just somebody like just treats them wrong, and I'm like, oh. So it's cool that I got like super attached to all these characters, and then when they have to make a hard decision, I'm kind of wondering. I'm like, are you telling the truth or are you lying? And then it's really really cool. Like this show has really really strong characters. Like I've gotten attached in a different way to all of them. There was one character that I didn't like at the beginning because she was just whiny, but then she ended up becoming really really cool because like she kind of melded with everybody else, and she like the reason why she was so whiny is because nobody was explaining stuff to her because she kind of didn't prove that she could handle the information that everybody else knew. And once she kind of earned that respect, then she was not right along with everybody because she wasn't as skilled as everybody else, but they relied on her for her like the skills that she did have. So this show, they kind of did a more closed like the story isn't over. Like it's one of the things where it's like, hey, you're with this crew of people and we do this mission, that mission, this mission, couple crappy things happen and then we move on, and then now we have to escape because everything like crap hit the fan. And then they're all together, but they're like kind of like Mission Impossible, where it's like you've been disavowed, where it's like you can't really work for the same people that you have before, because like some of them are like either like they got killed off or they've moved, like basically they broke the group apart and like they all work in different departments and stuff like that. But the main crew that you've been following, they're still together. Like they've escaped and they've gone off. But then the new leaders still call them to do more missions. So I don't really know. It's basically the whole story took place, and then right at the end, they're like, "Oh yeah, let's go talk to so and so," and you're like, "Well, I thought they were all gone," and they're like, "Yeah, we got a new mission," and then they just head towards another mission, and then the show just ends. You're like, everybody's fine and back to square one. So I really like the way that the show went.
I mean, do you think they're gonna have like basically you think that this first season was like the groundwork to lay, and now will there be more of like an overarching storyline involved?
Let's see. So with everything that happened, I would say I'm trying to think how much changed from I don't know. It's like they kind of it was a nice contained story, and basically they could just change the setting and move everybody to another city and then just have more missions. And the reason why this one was like very important is because it was kind of like the homeland of one of the characters. So we could probably go to the homeland of another character, and then that character be like really tied into all the missions and everything. But then everybody else would be just extra help and maybe cause issues and stuff like that. So it's like, yeah, you can just take that whole thing, move it to another location, and then play out another great series. So,
Gotcha. Okay.
yeah, it was tied up nice and neat, and yeah, I hope there's more of it. It'd be really cool to see them reacting and them doing missions in another location. So
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Again, I'd love to watch it if it wasn't on Anime Strike. But they're all safe. None of them will hurt her or anything. So they're all, if she can go in there and actually feel safe for once. And it was, I didn't know what necessarily to expect with this, but I'm gonna say that whatever I expected with this, it wasn't this. It's not to say that it's bad.